It just smells like an RC car. It does smell like a new RC car, though.
All right, welcome to No Control RC. We reached out and asked you all if we should get this thing, and you all voted yes, so here it is, against my better judgment. I'll let Brandon take it over from here, though, but first I will say, if you haven't already, check out our join button. You can become a team member, and we're doing monthly drawings for giveaway things. Like the first month, we put a poll out, and you also we should give away the mini Indy car, so that's what we're going to do. The winner will be drawn at the end of every month. So just a little bonus if you are part of the club. If you don't want to be part of that, then at least hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. On to you.
With that said, welcome to No Control. Let's check this new rig out. So I know Alex isn't as keen on this, but this brings me back a little bit. Back in my early days, I used to do a little bit of racing. Never raced one of these, but still really cool. I like it. So I haven't even, honestly, this is a true blue. You can see both seals are still sealed. Let's get this thing out and kind of take a little peek at it. See what Traxxas thinks a modified should look like. Oh, sorry, MUDBOSS. Now I got the number 12. It looks pretty sharp, actually. I like it. You're zip tied in, aren't you? Guaranteed. Yep. Ooh, look, it comes with numbers. You can change the number. Wow, that's a big pair of snips. It's light. All right, let's get this plastic off. Check that out. It looks like a dirt modified. Overall, first looks at it, it is kind of sharp looking. Now, it's basically just a repurposed slash for all intents and purposes. But they have said they did a handful of little upgrades to it for whatever to make it more race thrash oriented. And we'll touch on that in a tiny little bit here. I'm just kind of checking out. It does look cool. I like it. All right, so want to take that phone off that little hook right there and see if we can bring it in, take a closer look at it. So we can look at all the modifiedness. All right, so the car itself is light. So we'll start right off looking aesthetically at the outside of the body. Now, they did a pretty respectable job. You can see having it look like a dirt mod. Got the whole inner pan and everything all in there. Got the little guy in there. And that's pretty much what they look like. So reputation-wise, they did a good job at making it look like a mod. So we'll get this off so we can check out the inners. Now, it is a clipless system, and I'm still figuring out. Looks like directly from the back is good for the back. Right there is. So half the weight of the car is the body. Does look cool. So like I said, this is essentially a repurposed slash. It does have a composite tub chassis. We'll start right from the front here. You see you got a nice little bumper setup. It's got to be way out there because of how long the nose is. We'll bring it right back. It does have the dual bell crank set up in it with this servo saver. I don't know if I can get that down there. Pretty traditional stuff. But we'll start coming up to things that supposedly what they said are a little bit of upgrade. Now we'll go right to the shocks. Shocks are threaded bodies. They're aluminum body threaded with, they said the capacity is 70% more than the Ultra shocks that they use on something else. So it has a little bit more oil capacity. They are threaded and they have a coated shaft on them to help them slide a little bit better, just so the overall, the goal is to just have them work a little smoother. Now, I don't know exactly what. They said they have upgraded suspension and drivetrain components in this. So I believe there's probably just a little bit different material possibly in there. Looks like you do have different positions. You can change the shocks down bottom to get a little bit different handling. It's probably pretty normal, but all in all, it looks like they kept it simple and it looks cool. So we'll come right in here to the center. Now, obviously, you can see this is pretty much as a slash would be. Here's where your battery goes. This is 2S with the Traxxas plug on it. It does have the BL2S system in it with the BL2S 3300 kV sensorless motor in the rear of it. Again, good system. There's the brains of the whole operation in the usual box with the little antennae. And we'll touch on the rear. Now, transmission, it says it has the Pro Series Magnum 272R transmission inside of it, and I didn't look up the overall specs of what exactly all of it, everything that entails. I can just tell you the final drive ratio is 9.1 to 1. So if you want any super specs, that's where that goes. Like I said, overall very simple. Here's your clipless system. And these are actually officially licensed Hoosier tires. Now they are the angle block racing tires. Like a lot of the guys themselves will actually groove and cut them. And this is similar to like what they would do. You can see there's all sorts of trying to get as much bite as possible. They feel pretty nice. They are 2.2 on the outside and 3 on the inside. So pretty standard stuff. It looks like it's pretty decent. I don't really know what else besides cool factor you want to go with it. 2.2 wheels. I like it. I want to run it. I want to see if it can do anything cool. You don't want to know anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Let's put some batteries in it and run it.
What is it?
It's a dirt modified. Let's see what a 2S dirt modified does from Traxxas. You can get the corners happening. It's the wrong way. Get on them, they didn't groom the track.
Please tell me you're like half throttle.
Oh, that's everything.
Really?
Wide. Yo, my body. Oh, here we go. Come on. Things you need something set up to really enjoy.
Ow. Kind of underwhelmed here, Brandon.
Yeah, it is what it is. They're not supposed to go in dirt,
Who drives in the weeds?
right? It's not supposed to go in the grass. Well, that's just not fair.
Keep your Traxxas.
That's just not fair.
Keep your Traxxas modified.
It's a good-looking Traxxas, though. Hey, look at that.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
what it does.
yeah. It looks fantastic
It does
going
this.
12 miles an hour.
It does that. It does that. And it does this. It does all that. What do you want?
Cameras are on. Looks more impressive with the dirt flying.
Yeah. Get out. All right, so we're back from our quick little run. Overall, aesthetic and all that, like I said, I love the looks of this car. I grew up around modifieds and all that, so I really appreciate the style. I just like how it looks. Now, performance and what to do with it wise, it is still just a slash, so you can just run it around normal wherever you want. We took it up to a dirt road because that's what we had. With these tires like a little bit tighter. This is extremely loose. It's really, the rear end's all over the place, only just because you can only get so much traction because these are really super are meant for a tighter, more grip environment. So that's just our environment. So on asphalt or whatever, I bet this thing probably sticks and hooks really well, but it's set up very neutral. So you can just take it around and bash it, whatever you want. If you want something that looks a little different, here you go. There won't be many modifieds bashing around. Now, this is only 2S. And it seems like a very mild 2S from what we were running around. Just feels like it constantly wants to go a little bit more, but it kind of falls on its face a little bit. But if you have a whole bunch of them running around and you all got the same setup, now it's going to come down to who sets the car up better and who can drive better. So you got that going for you. So again, look-wise, killer. Is it practical? I really don't know. For me personally, I probably would end up just going back to a monster truck in the environment I have and stick to this. If I knew I had an area that a bunch of us were going to go run, then this would be a lot more fun. But just bashing on its own, it kind of is what it is. Price point, it's not bad. It's $379. So now you just got to figure out, is it worth spending $379 on this or spending the equivalent or a little more on something just to get a little more bashability out of it? But again, that's up to you. So that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. The only thing I noticed, we probably ran it for 7 minutes, and the speed control and motor in this thing are hot. Like, really, not like danger hot, but really hot for how much we ran. So I'm not as thrilled about that aspect because we weren't really bashing on it that hard. Did a few donuts. There's a lot of on and off the throttle. So I'm just going to look in to see if this is a little more normal. But even right now, hasn't been run for 4 minutes. The motor itself is still, you can touch it, but she's hot. So we'll get back to that later. But that's pretty much all I got to say on it. Overall, really super cool looking. It'll look killer on a shelf. If you got a handful of them around, you guys can have some fun and it'll look a little different than anything else that's around. But all in all, that's all I got to say on it. So unless Alex has anything he wants to add, but we all know how that goes. Oh, here he comes.
Well, let's face it. This channel will never receive anything from Traxxas anyway, so we're going to give you the honest review. And Brandon, he likes this a little more than I do. I was bored watching him after 1 minute and bored after driving it for 1 minute. So unless you're in a racing series, I really don't know what you would do with this thing. If you just want to blow donuts, have at it, but you can buy a car way cheaper that'll do the same thing. If you want it for just the looks, I can understand that. Some people buy them, put them on the shelves, or if you raced one of these, or if you always wanted to race one of these, then that's fine. But for just purely RC-wise, this thing entertained me just about zero. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm a monster truck guy, though, so that trophy trucks, that's really what I lean into. And this was equivalent of drag racing to me. It just doesn't do anything for me. It may do it for you, and that's fine. But just being honest with you, I didn't really enjoy it.
No, I mean, all in all, honestly, he is correct. Environment, likewise, like people, same vehicles running around, it does make this a lot more fun. It is a little underwhelming with the 2S system in it. But again, you got to figure out what's right for you. I'm just going solely off the fact that I think it looks pretty cool. I've always liked modified, so sentimentally, I'm more apt to like this rig than he is. But end of the day, I think that's where we're going to leave it. There's not much more to talk about. So as always, like and subscribe. Check out the join thing for all the cool things that we got going on in the background for that. If you want to really be a little more part of the channel, click on that, and then you can help us guide the direction that we are going to go. So thank you again, and we will catch you next time.